Hi everyone, and thanks for checking out my channel. I'm going to do the usual checkup midweek across the markets. I'm going to look at natural gas, WTI, silver, coffee, and just having a look and checking on Bitcoin as we still moving inside the uptrend, but some threat potentially for some bigger pullback. Starting with natural gas, so we had got that massive gap with the new contract opening at 2.80. My plan on that one was to wait for short entry a bit higher, and when wait basically to get the setup starting to show with some divergences at the top and showing that we would be about to reverse. The market didn't go for this and did actually shoot straight to the downside, so I didn't enter that trade, so it was too risky trying to catch this and getting caught in some sort of a bear trap. Wasn't one, and we got that drop quite significant down to that trend line we had on the previous contract on the finish here 2.11, crossing just perfectly here 2.46, and on that drop here we got that clean divergence here, bullish, a nice green candle to follow, so I opened a long position here as I think we are going very likely to go back and retest that trend line around 2.70, and from there I will decide if it's a good entry point for short position or if it's probably best to wait for a further break to the upside, keeping in mind that we are now moving into October, so of course in terms of the weather we might start to have a closer look at the cold temperature and all these things, so I will get nervous and able to spike very quickly to the upside should we have any switch on the weather. So short entries at that point must be done with really strict risk management, of course, but also a system in place to make sure that we're not actually taking too much risk. Looking at WTI, also holding long on that position on that market. We got here that rising wedge that got broken very significantly here. It was quite clean, and now we got some pullback on this. That wasn't really was a bit uncalled for really, because that drop here didn't actually have any major justification, and the move to the upside not much more. We got the inventories slightly bullish for today, but still doesn't really explain that huge variation, so we're pretty much back to the $40 level. I believe that trend line is going to hold, but we might actually go a bit higher, 40.3, 40.5 to retest even maybe that trend line rising wedge is possible, but then I believe, in my opinion, that we are going to break lower. That was the first target at 38.5, but when we break this, we got 37 next, and I think that will be the target, the first target. And of course, I'm still having in mind. Should we actually zoom out to the daily? So we're having that huge rising wedge divergence on the daily on the RSI from that peak here, so that was a significant one. I believe we're going to clear up that one here. It's calling for a drop at least to the lower end of that peak, which is roughly around 35, 34.7. So I think we're going there, but it will take probably some time. It could actually break a bit higher, but that trend line is now a very good guideline, very solid, tested several times on actually 3 times on the daily chart. I believe that's unlikely to break, except if we got major news, but I think we're going lower, maybe from that point here will take us to that 37, then 35 targets. Now looking at silver, we got some significant drop here. Also holding a short position, but did build that position a little bit too early. As we can see, we got a really nice head and shoulder pattern developing here. So the head would be here, if that's in red. Yes, that would be the head, and we can see here that we have the right shoulder, left shoulder, and we broke quite nicely today on this. We also broke at the moment should we actually stop here that channel that was actually moving the price to the upside. So my target is unchanged. Sorry, I'm still looking at that divergence to clear, and I believe we are not there yet. If we take the hourly divergence, that's actually pointing to that peak here. That peak was at 23, and all the way down we are looking at 21.6. So that's still my target to actually open and build long position. Are we going there quickly? I don't know, but that's quite significant drop here. The target just for that figure is probably not that ambitious. So if we're looking at the top from here, I will get the target somewhere, probably 23 should offer some sort of resistance here. And of course, if we take and consider this as a bear flag, and I believe it makes sense. From that exit here, we're even looking at 21 potentially as an extension. So definitely interested in this. We got that divergence here up to here, but I don't believe we're going to clear that one up right now, and probably will make another one on a larger time frame, very likely to be the 4 hours, as at now we don't have one. So that drop here would take us to some divergence here. That's enough, plenty of room on the RSI to actually drop quite low. 21.6 is the target, but we could actually see sub 21 before looking to build a long position here. Looking at coffee, so we had some sort of a temporary reversal here. As you can see, that's clear divergence here with the momentum unable to build on the move to the downside, arriving spot on the 108. That was a little bit of the target for that move. So if we retrace here, we are looking for 123. I believe the price will likely struggle a little bit lower than this. Potentially, I think we have been a moving average on the 4 hours. The 50 should actually cap the price, so we may have 118, and then we'll see the price to drop back down again. So as for the price action, we are pretty much back on that trend line here we had on the, I think that's the hourly, yeah, on the hourly. So let's see if it does actually hold it, but it's possible we might actually go back down and retest that trend line that got broken here, and see how we're going to build from here. But yeah, at that point there's no reason to believe that it will actually break lower for now, but of course if we break 108 very clearly, then it's an extremely bad sign, and it means that we are very likely to go lower. The target is unchanged. If we look also here, we're looking at that peak on the RSI, so it's pointing 1110, but the lower end is 99, so it's pointing to a move sub 100. So I'm also holding long position here, but I will not keep it should we actually break that level. It would be too risky to expose to that kind of move. And finally, looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin still building inside that very large figure. So we got that cup and handle pattern that's very neat. Where do I get the other one? Yes, here. So we are currently making the handle here, and it could look like this, but we broke through that trend line here. Just put that a little bit lighter. Yes. Sorry. And yes, we got that trend line that got broken here and retested on the way up. So that could be bearish sign, temporary at least. So if we take this away, we could have another one. It's of course much smaller, but we could have inverted cup and handle forming right here, which is a bearish pattern forming, and for this, should it actually break to the downside, then we'll see potentially revisits lower around the 8,000 figure. So very much possible. Even if we should actually go there, I don't believe we would actually invalidate the pattern yet, but I will actually delay quite likely the break to the upside, potentially making something like this. And now we would be looking for that break at somewhere 2021 more likely, and not happening by the end of the year. So yeah, that's for Bitcoin. Yeah, otherwise, if you have any market you want me to have a look at, just drop me a line. As I said in a other video, I did set up a WhatsApp group. You can flick me an email at tradingplan00@gmail.com if you are interested to join. It's active now, and yeah, you're definitely welcome to join. I'll send you just all the conditions. I'm just putting on that group for you to join, and if you think that's okay with you, send it back to me and I'll add you to the group and we can start sharing stuff. So thanks for watching. I wish you safe trading and I speak to you soon. Cheers, bye.